You know, there have been an increasing number of layoffs in probably the last couple of years, and it's been really very marked. What's causing these layoffs, and what fields, what jobs are being lost?
Well, it's pretty much across the board, but an awful lot of them are in manufacturing, and there are some very real reasons for that. Of course, we're seeing labor costs significantly less overseas. Asia, the parts of behind the former Iron Curtain, Africa. So jobs, manufacturing jobs, are going to the place where the costs are the least. But even the service business. What we're finding, of course, is that with global competition, even in the service arena, we're finding that a lot of companies simply have to compete, and they have to therefore downsize and get as compact and save as much money as they possibly can. So we're finding what we call pancaking. And we're finding that managers now are having to have, perhaps even as many as 30 people reporting to them as opposed to the previous 9. And they're managing to do it. We still don't know what the effect of that's going to be on these folks' health, but nonetheless it's happening, and these jobs are going away.
What would you call a recession-proof career, particularly for young people who are getting out of college and they're trying to find something they want to do? What would be a recession-proof career?
Well, there are several. First of all, stay out of heavy manufacturing. But in terms of satellite communications, computers, obviously, the whole merging of telecommunications with computers, with multimedia, all of those issues are really up and coming. Hollywood, right here, we're finding enormous opportunities in this multimedia, this melding of television, of film, of multimedia, and of course the whole computer generation, and all of this entirely new emerging industry is quite extraordinary.
You know, it used to be that you'd go to work for a company, you'd stay there for 25, 30, 35 years and get a gold watch, retire, and you pretty much could count on your pension. There seems to be a lot of diminishing of corporate loyalty to employees in these tough times. Why is that?
Well, it's what we were talking about before, global competition. It's the company attempting to survive itself in this crazy world we're living in. The pancaking, all of that sort of thing. Yes, and what's happening is that the employee base does not understand this new dynamic that we're facing today. The fact that just because you are here does not entitle you to lifetime employment, does not entitle you to that gold watch. The employee has got to understand that he or she has got to keep those skills, whatever they are, at cutting edge. It's not the employer's responsibility to do that. It's the employee's responsibility. They've got to learn to network. They've got to learn to keep those networks alive, because on a project-by-project basis, this is what's happening in this country. So they've got to keep their networks alive. They've got to keep a resume at absolutely cutting edge as well, because that's what's going to create the interviews inside the company as well as outside the company. You got to understand, it's a different world. There is no more gold watch.
Very quickly, because we only have a couple seconds left, any tips on getting a raise in these tough times?
Yeah. It's called value added. You have to do something. You can't just sit there with a dry mouth and sweaty palms. You've got to do something, and you've got to constantly point that out to your manager, to management in general. Outreach. Do things, we call it visiposure. Get out there, add to the community, add to the company's wealth, add to the company's products, add to their bottom line, and let management know you're there.